you that an immediate explanation will be supplied to this House, to the families, as to what happened. And we are scared, Honorable Speaker, when you hear the head of state communicating detention without trial. Honorable Speaker.
The procedural matter?
The procedural matter is for the Right Honorable Speaker to guide the House whether it is normal and therefore we should sit and relax, things are okay, Right Honorable Speaker, or that you have been briefed as the first case was about these abductions, Right Honorable Speaker.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Just hold on, please. Oh. The member rose on the procedural matter. Of course, it is not normal for that to happen. It is abnormal. And the best person to explain that situation cannot be me, because I did not participate in any of them. I had received earlier a request from the Honorable Member for Procedural to raise the same thing as an urgent matter so that we can hear from the government, from the executive branch of government, what the situation is, because I was also hearing about it for the first time. So can I allow the Honorable Member to raise it substantially and address it to the people who can deal with this matter rather than the Speaker? Because this time, if we are talking about the rearrest of the two members, certainly the warrants were not in writing, in which case they couldn't have come to the Speaker. I did not receive any phone call that such matter was pending. So I am also just heard from the Honorable Member for Remiyaga that there were the arrest of members who had been granted bail. So maybe raise it substantially, and then
Thank you, Right Honorable
motion. Yes, hold on.
Speak, and I'll give way to the motion at an appropriate.
Honorable Remiyaga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am raising this motion under Rule 59. The background to this motion, Mr. Speaker, in the last Parliament, we had an MP arrested and treated in the similar way that the Honorable Alan Sewanyana and Honorable Segirinya are being treated. This Parliament suspended the sitting until the Minister responsible for internal affairs was able to produce that Member of Parliament. So the motion I am moving under 59, Right Honorable Speaker, is for this Parliament to suspend this sitting until our colleagues have been freed who were kidnapped by people who were dressed like thugs. That is the motion I am moving, Right Honorable Speaker. If you allow me, I will justify. The history is that it has happened before in this Parliament when an MP was treated in similar circumstances. Parliament suspended the sitting, Mr. Speaker. If you allow me, I'll go ahead and move the motion.
Honorable Member, for the orderly conduct of business in the House, a motion of such significance may be without notice, but at least you brief the Speaker so that we know how to process it. Because you cannot surprise the Speaker. The rules don't allow you to do that. That's why it is important that even if you are going to substantially do it in the floor, you alert the Speaker, say, because of the following, I was planning on doing the following. The law, the rules allow, there's precedent to that effect, so I would like to proceed that way. But to do it this way, it jams the whole process. So I am going to listen to Honorable Semuja and take a decision on what you have just said. Honorable Sechikubo.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, the events surrounding the manner of honorable members of Parliament.
You are raising it as an urgent matter, not as a debate.
Yes.
You are raising it as an urgent matter, yes.
cannot go unchallenged by this very House. Right Honourable Speaker, the Honourable Muhammad Segirinya was rearrested yesterday, and I think, to put it in proper terms, kidnapped yesterday. Honourable Alan Sewanyana was equally kidnapped last Thursday after they had secured their bail. Right Honourable Speaker, it is a strange procedure, but it involved even the International Division of the Criminal Court, whereby members are certified that they have no any other pending charges against them, and they were accordingly set free. Honourable Speaker and members, for us to sit here and look on as if there is no constitutional order in this country is a matter of deep regret. That is the law. All members here swore to protect and defend the Constitution. And the Constitution, Article 28, is very clear. The presumption of innocence is cardinal in our criminal procedure systems. So therefore, Right Honourable Speaker and members, today you might think that yes, it is over Alan Sewanyana and Segirinya. Tomorrow it will be you. I remember, Right Honourable Speaker and members, I was arrested on Friday around 2020 in January for the breach allegedly of quarantine of foot and mouth disease. I was arrested from Remiaga Market on a Friday by General Tumwine. But by the time I was produced before court on Monday, charges had changed to attempted murder. And here I am, I'm NRM, I'm on this side. So for members who might think that you are safe because it is happening to the other side, you never know which direction these winds might blow. And therefore you must be very careful. We must be very careful as members of parliament. I don't subscribe to NUP, but I think they deserve the right as Ugandans, even if they are not members of parliament. They deserve protection as Ugandans.
Are you debating now, or are you raising an urgent matter?
To that extent, Right Honourable Speaker, I'm seeing there is no Minister of Internal Affairs. I'm seeing there is no Right Honourable Prime Minister. But at least I'm seeing members of the UPDF seated here. And they are very quiet. When these matters are being raised, they are very quiet. They are not helping the situation here. And yet they are supposed to be sitting and watch events and be able to help the House and the country. So, Right Honourable Speaker, this is a top challenge to this House, from which political side you stand. This is our Constitution we swore to protect and defend, and I would therefore, Mr. Speaker, would support the motion that this House deserves a clear explanation on what is happening to our colleagues, members of Parliament. Then we can come out with a straight face and we face the country. Otherwise, all of us are tainted. It is as if we are in a conspiracy, and for one, I must say, I'm not part of the conspiracy. Let us treat these matters of national importance as, first of all, members of this country, Ugandans, and as well as members of Parliament. Honourable Speaker, I thank you, and I demand that this position, government puts a position as to why the government of the people is resorting to kidnapping its own people. It's terrible, it's unexplainable. You can't explain it, you can't justify it, Right Honourable Speaker. I beg support.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member for Remiaga. First of all, there's no motion to second or support. That's a procedural matter that I'd like to correct. There's no motion substantial before the House now. There is no motion. There's no motion. Because until I allow it, it's not a motion. That's what the rules say, and that's why the honourable member is quiet, because he knows I have to give guidance on the matter. Honourable members, the matter being raised is serious to the extent that we don't know what happened. I, as presiding officer and leader of this house, I need to know the circumstances under which my members are. If they are going to be arrested, I need to know, so that I alert them and prepare them and move them forward. That's what the law says. When there were summonses were issued for the first time, the office of the Speaker called these members, talked to them, and even discussed lawyers, so that they, when they go, they should not say they are going to hide or run away or something. They should go, because the summons say so. And they went, and what happened, happened. Our expectation was that the processes would continue, and I said it here, if the processes should show that they are guilty of conduct that is against the law, then they would face the consequence of their action. But should it be proved that the allegations could not be proved beyond a reasonable doubt, then they would be excusable, in which case they would come and join us here. I said that the first time this matter came up, and I say it again for purposes of clarity and consistency. What the Honourable Member for Remiaga told me today, however, was not within my knowledge, and neither was it under my authorization or notification to the members who have been rearrested. A rearrest in the circumstance would mean they release you as you are walking out enjoying your freedom, and then they rearrest you. I don't think the people who did the rearrest had the knowledge or the time to come back to the Speaker to seek to give notification to the Speaker that the following members were going to be rearrested. So that was not done, and it's irregular under the law. Be that as it may, in the circumstances, I need to know the reason they were arrested. I need to know where they are being kept. I need to know why they are being kept. It could not be for the same reason for which bail had been granted. There must be other reasons. I just need to know as the leader of the House. Can somebody give me that information? Because I need to know.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, the Leader of Opposition and the Honourable Sechkubo and Honourable Semuju for raising this important matter. As we have said, Mr. Speaker, this is a very, very important and sensitive matter. It is true that the two leaders were rearrested and they are with government. Government arrested them. And I want to request, Mr. Speaker, that you give us a short time and the Minister of Internal Affairs will come and give a statement about where they are, because this issue has just been, this issue has just been raised here on the floor of the House. And it's an urgent matter, a sensitive matter to this House, not only this House, but to the entire country. So if we request you, Mr. Speaker, we do request you that you give us a short time, we get the appropriate answer to give to this House so that everybody can know where the two leaders are. And if you did, Mr. Speaker, allow up to tomorrow, that would be the best time. Thank you.
Honorable members, when things are really tough, that's when you need to be calm. Because you make additional mistakes if things are tough and you also start raising your voice and moving by action. When things are difficult, it's better to reflect on the next course of action. And I call upon the House to do just that. Because somebody else has made a mistake, we should not make a mistake. In other words, we should not make a mistake because some other person has made a mistake. This is the House of Representatives. And I urge you, honorable members, the situation is as we know them. Members have been rearrested. Should I now throw this House into confusion? Should you throw this House into confusion? I thought we would be best placed if we, in a very organized way, articulate the issues and send a message, clear message, that this should never be done. This cannot be done, and we are here. I thought that's the message we should send. So I really call upon members that we need to process this thing with some level of calmness. Until I get a clear information on the questions I have posed, will not be able to proceed with this business. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask the government chief whip to get in touch with the people responsible for this, the Minister of Internal Affairs. I am hoping that they were arrested by the police, so that in another 15 minutes we can proceed with the business of the House. House suspended for 15 minutes.
Very good.
The Universal Periodic Review, UPR, is a unique process under the United Nations Human Rights System. It involves peer review of the human rights records of all United Nations member states every 4 years and is purely a voluntary process where all states are treated as equal partners. The ultimate aim of this mechanism is to help improve on human rights situation in all countries and address any human rights concerns through technical assistance and cooperation. As the coordinating entity of CSO process, the National Coalition of Human Rights Defenders Uganda, with support of GIZ Uganda, is hosting